The gas station on Route 46. It was past midnight when Jake pulled into the only gas station on Route 46. His fuel gauge was dangerously low, and the next town was still miles away. The place looked abandoned, just a single flickering light above the pump and a small convenience store with darkened windows. Jake stepped out of his car, the cold night air sending a shiver down his spine. He grabbed the pump handle and tried to fill his tank, but the machine beeped error. Annoyed, he sighed and walked toward the store, hoping to find an attendant inside. As he approached the glass door, he noticed a handwritten sign taped to it, "Do not look at him." Jake frowned. What kind of weird joke was this? He pushed the door open and a bell chimed overhead. Inside, the store was dimly lit, with shelves full of dusty snacks and expired sodas. Behind the counter sat an old man, his eyes wide and nervous. "You need gas?" the old man asked quickly. "Yeah," Jake replied. "The pump isn't working." The old man nodded and slid a key across the counter. "Use this, but listen to me, son. If you see him, don't look. Just keep your head down and get back to your car." Jake laughed uncomfortably. "Who exactly am I not supposed to look at?" The old man swallowed hard. "You'll know." Jake rolled his eyes, grabbed the key, and walked back to the pump. He unlocked it, inserted the nozzle, and waited as the gas began to flow. The night was unnervingly silent. No crickets, no wind, just the hum of the pump. Then out of the corner of his eye, he saw movement. Across the empty road stood a tall figure, too tall. Its arms hung unnaturally long, fingers twitching. The head was tilted slightly as if observing him. Jake's breath hitched. The old man's warning echoed in his mind. "Don't look." He forced his eyes to the ground, heart pounding. The pump clicked off. He removed the nozzle with shaking hands, but he could feel it. The presence was closer. A chilling whisper brushed his ear. "Look at me." Jake's instincts screamed at him to run, but his body refused to move. The air around him grew thick, suffocating. His fingers twitched at his side, an overwhelming urge to glance up creeping in. "Look at me." The voice was right behind him now. Cold breath prickled the back of his neck. With every ounce of willpower, Jake lunged for his car door, yanked it open, and threw himself inside. He slammed the door shut and squeezed his eyes closed. The silence stretched. After what felt like an eternity, he cracked one eye open. The gas station was still there, the pumps, the empty road. The thing was gone. He exhaled sharply, turned the key in the ignition, and peeled out of the station, his tires screeching against the pavement. He didn't stop until he reached the next town. Shaking, he stepped into a 24-hour diner, desperate for the presence of people. As he ordered coffee, he casually mentioned the strange gas station to the waitress. She froze. "Gas station on Route 46. Jake nodded. Her face turned pale. "That place burned down 10 years ago." Jake's stomach dropped. "No, I was just there. The old man at the counter." The waitress shook her head. "The owner? He died in the fire." Jake felt the blood drain from his face. He bolted out of the diner and sprinted to his car. His hands trembled as he reached for the door handle. Then he saw it. On his rear-view mirror, written in the dust with a single clawed finger, "You looked." Moral: some places are better left forgotten, and some warnings should never be ignored.